Hello, makers. Welcome to the EarthtonesGirl Podcast. This is Earth Vlog number 48. My name is Denise, and I am so happy you're here to share a little bit of time with me today. You can find me on the internet as EarthtonesGirl. I am most active on Instagram. I'm also on Ravelry. The podcast has a Ravelry group called the EarthtonesGirl Podcast group. There is also an email address, which is earthtonesgirl@gmail.com. And I am also the host of the No Fear sock knitting class here on my YouTube channel. Welcome, everybody. Oh my gosh. Today is the 7th. I am 2 days shy of a month since I podcasted last. And you know what? I went through many days during that time feeling incredibly guilty that I wasn't podcasting, incredibly guilty that I had said in my last episode that this was my birthday month and I had all these plans and I had so much to share with you all and so much celebrating, and I had ordered all of these t-shirts to wear a different t-shirt every week, and then my kids went back to school. And I can say what I usually say, which is man plans and God laughs, but that's not the case. That is not the case. It goes back to, it has to do with why I titled this episode Responsibilities. I struggle with a push-pull. My sister and I came up with that phrase a couple of years ago, and it's always a push and a pull between what you want to do, need to do, have to do. And it boils down to responsibilities. And my responsibilities, I had to decide, do I have to fulfill my responsibilities to my family first and foremost, and do I really have responsibilities to my audience? Yes, I do, but it's a fine line between responsibility and feeling like I have an obligation. A responsibility to continue to show up here and share and interact and relate to, whether it's just in a vlog or in a podcast or in a tutorial. Absolutely. Should it feel like an obligation? No. And that's what I've been struggling with this past month. And my children have started back to school. This is the beginning of the 4th week, and it has been, I don't have any words. I thought that dealing with the quarantine up until now has been a challenge, and it has been, but trying to take care of my 2 children who have been with me for 6 months. Mommy, all the time, like this, for 6 months, to now say, okay, it's time to go back to school, and push them out of the nest has been really hard. They've been struggling. I have been struggling because they are struggling. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen me a couple of times in my Insta story, just, borderline teary-eyed because I'm trying to keep it together for them, and it's been such a rocky road. It really, really has been. My daughter in particular has been struggling, and I feel it's important to share that here because I know I'm not the only one going through this. I know there are many parents out there who watch this podcast, watch this vlog, and are feeling the same thing, are experiencing the same thing with their children, with life in general, and you're not alone. You're not alone. I realize I'm not alone, and I think it's important to share that. But back to what I was saying, I have to focus on that responsibility. And I started out in this quarantine, so many people would say, don't try to use this time, this unprecedented completely abnormal time as a time to be productive. It's okay if you sit and binge watch 10 hours of Netflix in your pajamas day after day after day. Like, that's okay. It's okay to do those things. And I kept saying, well, it's not for me. I have to be productive. I have to show something for this time. I have to create something and do something. And, I put time into a website and time into my knitting and time into, producing things and rearranging my home, rearranging our filing system, rearranging our basement, rearranging the house. And I was productive. And when I wasn't productive, I felt like, oh, this is such a waste of time. I have to be productive. And yeah, I was productive, but now I realize I have to shift my priorities a little bit. It's not about production. It's not about having something to show. Whether that's, am I making sense? Whether that's here on the podcast, like, it's okay to show up and just chat with you, even if the episodes are shorter, when I can. And if that means there's a month between episodes, that's okay. And I used to, all of my plans, I was putting so much pressure on myself to, okay, I'm going to be here every week and I'm going to try my best to be here every week. And then, I'd get to the end of the first week and I'm like, all right, I'll do it in 2 days into the second week. And then the second week would end and I was like, all right, it's only been 2 weeks. Maybe if I do it now, at the beginning of the third week, it's okay. And I was like, why am I creating this endless pressure on myself? Why am I doing this to myself? And I heard a report on the news. I am rambling a little bit, so if you want to fast forward, I'll when I edit, I'll tell you when you can jump ahead to the good stuff, if this is boring for anyone. But I think it's important for people to hear. I heard a report on the news that so many women in the United States are leaving their jobs, leaving the workforce and returning home. And the reporter let me finish what I was going to say, returning home and to take care of family, to take care of the home and their children, et cetera, et cetera. And the reporter wasn't praising that decision on the part of women out there. She was critiquing it, criticizing it, and worried about what are the long-term repercussions of women, leaving the struggle, abandoning the struggle for equal pay and equal rights in the workplace. And that was her focus. And I thought, okay, what if women have realized that there is a need for a shift? There is a need for realizing what the real responsibility is as opposed to the other responsibilities. It's just finding a balance. And I think for so many people, they've realized home, this is so important. Our children are important. Our lives are important. Our self-care is important. Our mental stability is important. And it really kind of pissed me off that that there was a critique of that and a judgment in that as opposed to a praise in it. And I think my point is, I am getting to a point. I think my point is, it's okay to shift what you want to be responsible for. It's okay to want less responsibility in the workplace and more responsibility at home, to realize the importance of that. And right now for me, making sure that my home life is as stable as possible, that my children are mentally as comfortable as they can be, or as I can make them. They struggle so much in school, not academically really. I mean, they're doing well academically, but it's all the other challenges of how school is now, how school is run now. And I have to take care of them. So you know what? I will be here when I'm here, and I will share with you all, and I will enjoy it. But after all these years, I am now no longer going to apologize when I'm not here. That took me 10 minutes to say. I'm looking at the timer on my recording here, and it's 9 minutes and 45 seconds it took me to say all of that. But I can't tell you how good that does feel to share that with you all and to get that off my chest and off my back and off my mind. I mean, I even feel like my head feels clearer. It feels lighter now that I've said that out loud. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So thank you for listening to that. I hope it resonates with some of you. Some of you may have already pressed the off button and have moved on to something else that's more interesting, and you're welcome to do that. That's totally fine. But this podcast is now 3 years old. October is 3 years old. So this is my Podiversary month. And I felt that it was important to just explain how I'm feeling and the evolution of this podcast. You know, it's gone from podcast to more vlog, which has been really working, and the episodes are a little less frequent, and that's kind of working for me, and that's just kind of how it is. So for those of you that are new to the channel, welcome. I welcome you here. I am so happy that you're here with me. For those of you that have been with me since the beginning, I really and truly wish that I could give you all a hug and say thank you so much for sticking with me, for listening to me, for your comments, for everything, because it means so much. And I do love this space. I love my podcast. I love my vlog. I love being here. It means so much to me. So thank you all for being here with me. All of that said, let's share some stuff. It was my birthday month, and turning 50, it has been incredible. It has been, I don't know, for some reason I feel like a pack's been lifted off my back also. I don't censor myself anymore, you guys. I don't know. I feel more myself, more self-possessed, that I can be more honest, and that's been wonderful. I got to celebrate in a much more scaled down way than I had originally wanted or hoped or planned. And that was okay too. My plan for my 50th birthday was to go on a vacation to England with my best friend, who the line between best friend and sister blurs, has always blurred with me and her. But she passed away, and back in May, and it rocked my world, and I will never recover. I will never recover from that. I'm learning to live with it. It's kind of like a big stinky roommate that you don't want, but they're there and you get used to it. But so my plans changed. My birthday was not what I wanted it to be, and the day was filled with joy and sadness, and I missed her terribly. But then I was still so grateful to have reached my 50th birthday, considering how much loss there is. Wow, this is a chatty episode. I'm going on and on and on, but it was good. It was good. And there was so many birthday wishes and so much joy sent my way. And I thank you all so much for that. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. It was sad, I will not lie, but it was also wonderful. So yes, we also had another birthday. It was my son's 6th birthday, which was actually this past Saturday. And oh my gosh, he, for the first time in over 6 months, got to play with other children. And he's been back in school, but there's so many rules with distance and, 6 feet. And the little ones have been told, like, if you put your arm out, that's about 3 feet. And if the other child puts their arm out, then you equal 6 feet. So that's how far apart you have to stay from each other. And you know what? The parents that came over with their children for the party, we'd all conversed. We all knew more or less how we'd all been quarantining. We had masks on. We had hand sanitizer, like a hand cleaning station, and wipes and everything else. And we just kind of let the kids be free for a little while. And it was wonderful. It was out in the backyard. So again, open air. So everybody felt comfortable and safe. And to see his joy and to hear him laugh and watch him run with these kids, I was like, wow, this is my birthday gift right here. This is it. His joy is my gift. And it was amazing. It was amazing to watch. And I'm so grateful that he had that. Yeah, so we also went apple picking. That was really wonderful too. Apple picking was so much fun, but again, so different this year. We go to the same place in Yorktown Heights every year, which is Upper Westchester from where I am in New York, and we go every year. And when we tried to go a few weeks ago, the farm opens at 10 a.m. and we got there, I think maybe 10:45, and they had already reached their capacity and were not letting anyone else in. Oh my gosh. So we drove up there, we were all together, the four of us are together, and the kids were just like, "Really? Are you serious? We can't go in?" And they understood, and nobody cried, nobody really protested, but they were sad. They were sad. It was just one more thing that Corona has done. And my son is like, "When is Corona going to go away?" And I said, "Sweetheart, from your mouth to God's ears." We were all asking that question. And we piled in the car and left. And we tried again the following weekend. And it was about 8 a.m. And my husband said he couldn't go with us that day. But he said, "If you guys are going to go, you have to get up and go right now. Even if you wait online outside, but you've got to go now." We got to the vineyard maybe 9:15 or so. We were in. Yay! We got our bags, we got our pole, apple picking pole, and it was one of the best days we've ever had. It was me with them, and you'd think I'd be tired of them by now, because so many parents are like, "Okay, I'm sick of my kids," but I'm really not. I have moments where I am, but I was so happy to just have gone with them, just us. We miss Daddy, of course. But I don't know, it was just fun. It was just fun. It felt like old days where I would take them to the zoo and take them out and it would just be the three of us. And it was nice to have that back for a little while. And, we're eating apples along the way and we're singing, and it was just, Kira's got the pole and she's trying to get the apples down. It felt good. It felt really, really good. So that's been my month. That's been the last month. I've also been knitting quite a bit, so I will share that with you. I completed another pair of socks. Oh, okay, little housekeeping news. Falling leaf sock cal. Oh my gosh, that is my current cal. It started September 15th and will run through November 15th, and I am floored, blown away, shocked at the response. This is our third year, and the number of finished pairs of socks in the FO thread and Ravelry group is mind-blowing. The chatter thread is just lit up every day, all day, with people talking. People are posting on Instagram. It's been amazing. It's really, really been amazing how excited people are about this. I'm so grateful to everybody that's participating. Thank you so much. And the mission's being accomplished. It's flooding our feeds with the colors of the season and our love of sock knitting. And it's just making my heart burst. It's just absolutely wonderful. Oh my gosh, it's just been amazing. It's been amazing. So thank you so much to everybody that's participating. People are sending in prize donations, which is amazing, and I will share those in another episode later. But there's patterns coming in, there's yarn being donated, there are project bags being donated. So to everybody that is contributing to the prize pool, thank you so very much. It's been wonderful. Yeah, and you saw my 2 pairs of socks from the beginning of September, the before and after socks and the now and next socks. Those were part of my contribution, although they were finished a little earlier. But my first pair that I'm contributing to my own cal. Well, I'm not eligible for a prize, but I have to knit along. I want to knit along. Are these? Look at those, you guys. I love these so much. Oh my gosh. This is, and I think I might have shown you these as a work in progress last time. This is Equinox, aptly named, by Nomadic Yarns, and the brown accents is Malabrigo sock, my usual Malabrigo sock in the Cordovan colorway. But this is Equinox. It's on her Tweedy base. Oh my gosh, look at that, you guys. Just beautiful. Oh, I love this so much. I loved knitting these. As you can see, I was a tiny wee bit off on the toes there, but you know what? I don't care. I really don't care. For some reason, the stripes line up, but this is just, it's still ever so slightly off on there. I don't really know how that works. It's just sock knitting a thing. I don't know, but I love these so, so much. So this is, these are my socks. Usual vanilla sock pattern, fish lips kiss heel, 2.25 millimeter high sharp needle. Love them so much. Yeah, love them. So there you go. What else have I been doing? I did start another pair of socks for the Cal, and these, oh my God, wait till you see these. It's kind of early days with this pair, but can you guys see what that is? Yes, that is a sock. That is sock colorwork on a sock. Does it get any cuter? No, not really. Oh my gosh! Look at these. I love these so much. This is the Festivities sock pattern. Here it is, Festivities sock pattern, and this is by Natalie Sheldon, who is Remembrances Pottery on Instagram. And her original pattern just called for the bunting right here, hence the name Festivities. So it had this really beautiful bunting pattern here, but per the request of some of her sock knitters, if you are familiar with Remembrances Pottery, Natalie does beautiful mugs. And she's best known for her sock mugs, and the socks and the sweaters and different designs on the mugs look like they're on a clothesline. So someone requested that she put in sock and sweater charts that look like the clothesline. So this is what I decided to go with, this particular pattern. And I am knitting the socks on the clothesline on my socks. I couldn't be happier. Could not be happier. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. So I am using a collection of different yarns. Again, here's my go-to cordovan in Malabrigo. This is Malabrigo Natural. And then my colors, this is going to be the next color for the next row of socks on the line. And these are just, this yellow and this one are by Tiny Human Knits. I think that's the name. Hold on. It's this company. Yep, it's Tiny Human Knits. So this is actually really beautiful too. This is, because I know someone's going to ask, this is S'mores. Excuse me, and it's a 50-gram skein. I have 2 of these to make a pair of socks, but it's by Tiny Human Knits, and that's her name on Instagram. So I just went into the stash and pulled up. I had a bunch of her minis in my stash because I just love the colors for contrasting cuffs, etc. So that's what I'm using. And this charm, isn't that beautiful? Wait, I have it on the wrong side. Hang on. There it is. This charm that keeps flipping. Oh, there it is. Okay. The charm is by Woolen Forest, is by Forest Charm. That's the name of her Etsy shop, but she is Woolen Forest on Instagram. So I have a bunch of her charms, and she's got some really beautiful fall-themed progress keepers and markers in her shop right now. So you might want to go and have a look. I'll link to her down below. So yeah, those are my 2 current sock projects. And we do have a little bit of happy news in our family. Another thing that's taken up time. My cousin and his wife had a baby on October 1st. Oh my God. And this little boy is so delicious, and he's brand new. He still has his tags on, and he's just, I want to eat him up, but can't, obviously, because of Corona again. So I knit him something. He's a new baby, and whenever you hear of a new baby, many of us reach for our yarn and needles anyway, but I just want to hold him and can't, so I figured I would hold him in my stitches, and I made this for him. This is just a plain, simple little top knot hat. I did not follow a pattern. I've made similar hats for my children when they were babies, and this is just, I'm calling this my little 3-hour baby hat. my 3-hour top knot baby hat pattern. And it's just 64 stitches on a 4.5 millimeter needle, which is a size 7 US needle. Cast on 64. I knit for about maybe 4 inches from the cuff to here, started the decreases, and then did an I-cord and knotted it. Done. I started this last night, actually, just before putting the kids to bed. I started about 8 and then had a lovely chat with my dear friend Joanna. Can I just talk about Joanna for a second? Joanna is stitching the high notes on Instagram. She has an Etsy shop and she's on Patreon and she's amazing. And if you're not following her, please go and follow her. Hi, Joanna, if you're watching. She and I get into these conversations and we chat with each other and we share and we laugh and we cry together. And it's so wonderful. And it just feels good to the slow, sweet process of growing a friendship. And I was knitting this last night and finishing it up while the two of us were having a little FaceTime chat. So yeah, it's just special because again, I was chatting with her and thinking of our new baby, and not our, but our as in family baby, not mine. Not having a baby, no. That ship has sailed and gone west. No. But yeah, so I will put this little pattern in the description box down below for you. And I will be knitting many, many more of these for him. I already have yarn pulled here. There's some other colors I have. Hold on. I've got some other colors here that, yes, I'm being very stereotypical and knitting him blue. So this is going to be stripes, and then I may just put a solid, another one in this color. So he's going to get these right now. And then I have a little quilt that's in the works. All the piecing, the top is completed. So I just have to make my quilt sandwich and quilt it, bind it, and send that off. So I will share that with you down the line. What else am I working on? I'm also working on my sweater. That has kind of piqued my interest again. I worked on it and then it kind of sat for a little bit, but I am now really determined to, it looks like it's slow going, but it's growing. So it would basically be this way because I'm knitting it from the top down. So the neck opening is worrying me slightly. It looks a little too large, but I'm just going to keep going. I may put it on a thread and just try it on and see if it's too big. Now's the time to stop and redo it. But I'm loving it so far. I wanted a big kind of sloppy sweater. Not sloppy, but slouchy, more sweatshirty type sweater. So this has been really nice. And it's amazing when you start knitting on really big needles after being on tiny needles for so long. It just feels, oh my gosh, you make progress so quickly. It feels great. So, yeah, those are my projects. That is my life. That is work. That is my thoughts on things. Yeah, it's just such a strange time, you guys. It's such a strange time. And so many things that you're trying to figure out. Yeah, there's lots more to come. So it's only going to get worse before it gets better. So yeah, I hope that this episode has been helpful for you all. Oh, wait, before I go and launch into my goodbyes, I also want to say a big thank you. I sold my Fearless Sock Knitter pins, and I have that here on my bag. This was my birthday treat to myself. I love this bag so much. It's by Joji Locatelli. Yeah, look at this. It's her hobo. I think it's the hobo bag. I'll put it in the description box down below. But it is such a great size. It holds. It's pretty deep. It has the inside pocket, and it has this beautiful pocket on the outside so that you can put your pins on it, but it doesn't catch. It's not catching on the yarn. It's the backs of the pins are in the pocket. So love this bag. This is my treat, and it's suede and it smells amazing. I wanted a little something. This is my birthday gift to myself, and here are my pins. Thank you so much to everybody that purchased a pin. They sold out so quickly. I did put a notice here that they were going on sale. Don't worry if you missed one. If you missed getting one and you still want to get one, I have already placed a reorder and the shop should be stocked. I'm hoping they come in the next maybe 2 weeks. Fingers, toes, arms, legs crossed. So hopefully, but I will put a message up on the community board here on Instagram, on the blog, on the website, and just let you know when new pins come in. So stay tuned for that. So yeah, that was shop news, Cal news, life news, knitting news. That's everything, guys. I am going to sign off. I will be back when I'm back. Thank you all for spending some time with me today. You're amazing. And I will check in with you all again very, very soon. Bye, everybody. Thank you for listening and thank you for being here. Bye.